Good morning, family. Good morning, God's people. Thank you for joining me today. This is part 97 of A Radical Fall to Grace, my testimony, and just my story, the goodness of the Lord in my life, throughout my life, and into the expected future. So I appreciate all the support I've got today, and then 3 more of these, and I will have completed this assignment. So I'm excited to see what's next, and I thank the Lord for his faithfulness in this up to this point. And he's just so good. So much has been revealed to me about who the Lord made me to be, why I fell so far, and why I had to, and just how far he reached down to get me. I fear I'll never fully understand in this life everything that the Lord has done for me and with me, because of me, because he loves me so much, and I get the opportunity to love him back, and that's the biggest blessing that there is. And so these last 10 from 91 to 100, I'm doing a sermon, a message that the Lord put on my heart, coming right out of Genesis chapter 3, and I'm calling this last 10 parts Naked and Unafraid. And yesterday I ended on on verse 10, and so I want to recap just a little bit and then move on to verse 11. And so I'm gonna go back to verse 8, and it says, "And they heard the sound of the Lord walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord among the trees of the garden. And then the Lord called to Adam and said to him, 'Where are you?' So he said, 'I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself.' And God said, 'Who told you you were naked?'" Man, what a question, Who told you were naked? Because from God's perspective, and what he knew is, Adam, you've always been naked. You've always been naked in my sight. I've always been able to see you for who you are. Everything that is inside of you, I put there. Everything that you wear, the way you look, the way you behave, that's always been clearly seen by me. So who told you that there was a problem with your nakedness now? Who told you we're naked? So when I look back at my life, and I see when things started to take a negative turn, when I was exposed, when I realized I was no longer acceptable in my own sight, I asked the question, who told you were naked? Who told me I was naked? Who told me that the way that the Lord had made me was unacceptable? Who told me? When did I start to believe that who I was and made in God's image was not enough? At what point did I realize that I was naked? And then God asked a follow-up question. "Have you eaten from the tree which I commanded you that you should not eat?" And I think those things correlate so very well. When fear became a part of my life, it was because I started to do things that I should not do, or that I was told I should not do. It's because I started to walk into obedience. As a child, as a toddler, and as an adolescent, I loved being around my father. I loved being in his presence. I couldn't wait till my daddy got home. And there was no fear, no shame, no apprehension in any way to be in the presence of my father. And it wasn't until I started to disobey, I started to tell small lies, until I started to smoke that thing that he told me not to smoke. He commanded me not to smoke. Until I started to drink that thing he commanded me not to drink. Till I slept with that girl he commanded me not to sleep with. Did you eat from the tree which I commanded you that you should not eat? What a question.